Hey everyone, this video is on subtracting rational numbers and the focus is on decimals really specifically. So we're going to practice how to subtract decimals. And these are the type of decimals that have positives and negatives involved, so it's a little extra work. And I'm going to show you the first example here. So first example, we want to take 4.25 minus negative 1.7. So first off, when I see this subtraction problem, my mind instantly goes to the rule KCC, which we use in class a lot, KCC, which is the keep, change, change rule. I'm going to look at the decimals and say keep the first one, keep 4.25, and then change, change. I'm going to change it to plus a positive 1.7. And when I do that, when I change the problem to this, I see it as an adding problem, and I see a positive and a positive number. So now my mind can go to my rules that I've memorized with integers, which basically say this: when I'm adding two numbers together and they're both positive, they have the same sign, then all I have to do is addition to solve my problem. So we're going to add these decimals together. I find adding decimals is easiest when you stack them vertically. So I'm going to take 4.25 and I'm going to add it to 1.7, just like that. And I like to make sure I line it up. I want the decimals to be lined up together so that my answer has a decimal lined up. And if you need to insert an extra 0 to kind of help out, you can do that. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 7 is 9. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So I get 5.95. Meaning that that's pretty much my answer. That all of this up here when I was doing my math is equal to 5.95. And because both of these are positives, so is our final answer. It's 5.95. So basically what we just figured out is that our original problem, 4.25 minus negative 1.7, is equal to 5.95. And of course, you can check these. I would encourage you to check them on a calculator. There's nothing wrong with that to see if you're doing things correctly. So I'm going to just type this in and make sure I know what I'm talking about here. So 4.25 minus a negative 1.7. Let's make sure it works. There it is, 5.95. We did it right. That's awesome. Don't forget when you're using your negative button that on these calculators at least, that the negative is down here by the equal sign. You cannot use the subtract button as a negative. It won't work. So just remember, keep that in mind. Okay, so let's try another one of these. If you're getting the hang of this, that'd be great. So here's example 2. Negative 9.3 minus 10.24. Okay, so I see the subtraction in this problem. So my mind goes straight to KCC. I got to keep, change, change. I'm going to keep the first one, so keep negative 9.3, and then I'm going to change, change. So it's going to change to a plus. It's going to change to, in this case, a negative 10.24. All right, now I see it as an adding problem. So in my mind, I'm going to my integer rules, and I'm kind of thinking about this. It's an adding problem. I see a negative and a negative, so I see same signs, which means all I got to do is add the numbers, keep the sign. So I'm going to just continue with adding as my strategy. So we're going to do 9.3 plus 10.24, and I'm going to stack those up vertically. 9.3 plus 10.24. Notice I'm lining up my decimals so that my answer has the decimal lined up. I'm going to put an extra 0 here to kind of help me out. And I'm also not using the little negative symbol, not here. I know the rule is to add, so forget about the negatives for a moment and let's just do the addition first before we worry about the negatives again. So I'm going to add this up. I'm going to go 4 plus 0, or 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 plus 2 is 5. 9 plus 0 is 9. And then if you want, you could put another 0 here. 0 plus 1 is 1. So I'm seeing an answer of 19.54. So if it's 19.54, I have this thing here, negative 9.3 plus negative 10.24 equals 19.54. Now I can go back to thinking about the negatives. Adding two negatives, you add them together and you keep the sign, so it's negative 19.54. Makes a negative answer. meaning that original problem up at the top, this thing, the subtraction problem, equals negative 19.54. And I'm done. Okay, so it's your turn to try. I'm going to give you a couple problems and you're going to pause the video. These are your two questions. You're going to pause the video, copy them down, and see if you can solve them on your own and get them right. If you can, then you're ready to move on. So here they are. Pause the video, give them a try. Okay, you're unpausing the video now and you're checking your answers, I hope. I'm going to go through these as fast as I can here just to kind of review the answers. They're both keep, change problems. I see the subtraction, so I'm like, I got to keep, change. So I'm going to keep the 4.51. I'm going to change. So add now a positive 12.3. Awesome. Then in my mind, I'm seeing it as an addition problem. And I'm seeing two positive numbers. So the rule with two same signs, when I'm adding with the same signs, we know in our heads that the rule is to just add the numbers. So I got to keep on adding. And I'm going to do that vertically because it's easier with decimals. So I'm going to take 4.51 and I'm going to add it to 12.3. Notice how I'm lining up my decimals. I'm trying to keep this and this kind of stacked up together here so that my final answer has a decimal right under it. I'm going to put a 0 here and here to kind of help me, and then I'm ready to add this up. So let's see here. 1 plus 0 is 1, 5 plus 3 is 8, 4 plus 2 is 6, 0 plus 1 is 1, 16.81. There's my answer. So if that is my answer, then I'm going to write, I'm going to copy this problem, I think, down. 4.51 plus the positive 12.3 equals 16.81. And remember the rule, if they're the same signs and you're adding it together, you just keep the sign. So both these are positive, I'm going to keep it positive. So my answer is 16.81. Okay, here's B. Keep, change. I see subtract, so I'm going to keep, change. I'm going to keep the negative 14.03, and then I'm going to change. So it's going to change to adding, and it's going to change to a negative 2.5. Then in my head, I see another same signs problem. They're both negatives. So I'm going to add the decimals, keep it negative. So let's stack this up and add them together. 14.03 plus 2.5. Okay, I'm going to put a 0 here and here to kind of help me. 3 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 5 is 5. Here's where the decimal lines up. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. I get 16.53. So this is equal to 16.53. I also noticed that I was adding two negatives, so it's going to be a negative 16.53, and that is my answer, negative 16.53. Okay, so I hope you got some of those correct or you found your mistakes, and I hope that was helpful information. We will keep working on this in class. Thanks, you guys. Bye.